So out of the tragedy of May 4th came a chance to try his hand at his second career choice.
That's not a traditional skylight.
No, it's not. It's a tube skylight. Very highly reflective inside. It's got a dome over the top.
So this is a solar tube.
It's a solar tube.
So you
yes.
basically have essentially like a skylight on the roof.
Right.
We have about 15, 20 feet of mirrored tubing, which then terminates here to this amazingly bright light here in the kitchen. That is not being illuminated by electricity.
No, there's no light bulb.
So that incredibly well diffused light is happening just because the sun's coming down a tube.
That is exactly right.
I mean, I hate to say it, obviously the tornado was a horrible tragedy, but in many ways it's sort of pushed you to actually do a lot of the things you've been thinking about for years.
There's nothing that happens that doesn't have something good in it. You know, there's always, you can always find something good.
One of the elements that make Farrell and Debbie's house just so green is something called geothermal heating and cooling. As the name implies, geothermal uses the Earth's constant underground temperature to reduce the workload on traditional climate control systems. In the case of their new home, the Allisons drilled 3 200-foot deep wells. Liquid is pumped through those wells, bringing its temperature to 55 degrees. That baseline temperature means less strain on the furnace in winter and on the air conditioning in summer. Geothermal technology will be used at many new projects in Greensburg, and the bigger the building, the bigger the dig. For example, a 10,000 square foot commercial space on Main Street has 21 wells. Since the tornado, about 170 new homes have started construction in Greensburg, and the Allison house is the greenest of them all.
I'm kind of competitive, so it'd be nice to be the best one.
Well, I'm now back at Farrell Allison's house, and as you can see, they're making some progress. Siding is on, checking out some paint options, and thanks to a really generous donation from National Gypsum, they now finally have some wallboard. So today, I'm going in to hang some wallboard. Look at that. JJ, you're like a...
That's it.
You're like a ninja. All right, so guys, what we just did over there was hang wallboard on a totally traditional wood stud wall. Put the wallboard up, screw into the studs, call it a day.
Yes.
What's the difference when you start working on ICF, basically a green wall?
Well, this is styrofoam over concrete.
Right.
And then they got little X's here.
And this is where the metal studs are?
Yeah, the
plastic studs?
Little plastic strips.
So you can see right here, 8 inches, 8 inches, 8 inches, 8 inches there.
Yeah, and also on these, you got to go through and you need to mark them on the floor and the ceiling so you'll know where they're at.
Those are 16 on center. These are 8 inch on center, right?
Right.
So this actually is a little bit easier in some ways, right?
Well, as far as hanging goes, it's harder.
Why is it harder?
Because you got to hold the sheet and put screws in at the same time.
Can't nail into this stuff. No nails.
No, other than where the wood is.
So the nails won't hold in here. You'll rip the styrofoam.
Yeah, they will not go through it.
So is this one of those moments where the green technology helps the house with insulation and structural, but in terms of actually the mechanics of building the house?
It's a little bit, just a little bit harder.
A little bit harder.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing right now is marking the location on the ceiling where those plastic studs are, so when the wallboard finally goes on and we can no longer see it, we'll know exactly where to screw the stuff in, and knowing every single time we'll be connecting the wallboard through the styrofoam into the plastic stud buried against the concrete.
Watch out for the glue.
Yeah.
We'll slide it on up and go all the way over.
All the way tight to the wall. Yep.
And hold it up tight against the ceiling.
Yep. Oh, line. You got the best of me.
Okay. Kind of snap it, and then it's done. You just set the nail, and then you hit it 3 times, and it should be set.
Set it once.
Yep.
And then 3 hits.
Yep. And if you're really good, you can just do it, just set it and then 1.
So much for nailing down the sustainable aspects on the inside. There's also a lot of work to be done on the outside, specifically siding.
Now let's be clear, that's not wood that we're putting up there.
No, it's not.
What is it exactly?
Fiber cement.
So it's a fiber cement board.
Yes.
So instead of using wood or cutting down trees to have traditional shingle siding, this is a kind of a cementitious artificial product.
Right. It holds paint very well. The company that I bought this from, 20-year guarantee on holding paint.
So in terms of sustainability, one of the opportunities with this is that, unlike wood, where you have to put on a chemical sealant, then put on a paint, and then every 4 or 5 years you have to reseal it or repaint it, once this is on, this is that hardy plank, the cementitious fiberboard. And typically, when people are putting shingles on a house, it'd be cedar shingles or wood shingles of some kind. But this stuff, as you can see, it has a kind of a faux grain of wood, but it's actually made of powdered cement and a binding agent. So the aspect of green that this brings to the table is low maintenance and material resource.
Pretty level, isn't it?
I like that.
Okay.
All right, screw gun. A lot of folks don't do this every day.
No. But I cannot wait until this house is done and I can go out on my screen porch with my breakfast and say, I don't have anything to do today.
Just able to sit in your kitchen, have a coffee, and look out on Greensburg.
That's right.
So this gives you a sense of really just how challenging it is to try and accomplish a truly sustainable house that considers these issues on each and every level. So for example, Farrell has taken the time to think about how this house is sided for passive cooling and passive solar. He's used ICF block construction. They have rapidly renewable bamboo floors. They have 2-button flushing toilets. They have water reclamation cisterns. They have landscaping that needs no water. They have siding that's cementitious and therefore doesn't use wood. They have solar tube lighting. Literally, every aspect of this house takes into account sustainability. And you know what? It can be done. Green design means green building and longevity. And this is one of the greenest houses in Greensburg, Kansas. My time in Greensburg is up. I've been here for about a year, and I have to tell you, it's been incredible. As an architect who builds green buildings for a living, it's really inspiring. You know, we're starting to see more sustainable design popping up across America. But nowhere have I seen one town come together to make this kind of commitment at this level. And the amazing thing is, they're doing it. They're not just talking about it. I mean, if you look behind me, this is just a 1.5 years worth of progress, and it's only going to get better. So I'm going to come back and check out the progress, and I think you should too, to both support and celebrate what this town is doing. This is America's first ever LEED Platinum town. This is Greensburg.